Welcome to In the Kitchen with Dinah. Today we're making strawberry freezer jam.
Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Gonna taste good, I know.
Hey, thanks for joining me today in my kitchen. I thought I'd show you how to make strawberry freezer jam. I thought I'd take some of the crazy, oh my gosh, this is too hard stigma out of making your own fresh jam. It's super easy. So the first thing you're gonna need to find as well is some Sure-Jell or some kind of pectin, MCP, or there's other brands out there. This is not sponsored. So when you open the Sure-Jell, you get this great big huge long list of ingredients and your instructions, and you'd be like, oh my gosh, this is so hard, but it's not. And this little container of pectin, which is powder, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. So if you look on here, you've got all sorts of different berries and whatnot, different fruits that you can make. So we're just gonna go down here and look at strawberries. And I've done strawberries, raspberries, peach, apricot. They're all delicious. So if you got fresh fruit, I know here in Eastern Washington, we've got orchards we can pick about 20 minutes from here. So anyway, so I've got my washed berries. Set that over there. I'm gonna make multiple batches today because we stick it in the freezer and we eat it all year long. We've got our washed berries and they're ready to go. And you just go down here and it says 2 cups of crushed berries and 4 cups of sugar. So I think the first thing we're gonna do is get 4 cups of sugar. One thing when you're making jam is you wanna make sure that all your measurements are exact. So let's go get 4 cups exactly of sugar, and I put it into a bowl just because it's easier to mix in, and I'll show you that in a second. All right, so we got 4 cups of measured sugar. We're just gonna set that to the side. And now I'm going to get my glass Pyrex. And I am making multiple batches, so I'm just gonna put a bunch in here because we're gonna measure it out anyway. Now you could just use this and mash it. That's way too much work for me. Okay, that looks about good. Make sure you're wearing an apron or a junky shirt doing this because you probably will stain your shirt with strawberries. All right, and my counter just is gonna be red by the time we're done. That's okay. All right, so this is the bowl. I'm gonna keep my pureed strawberries in. Now we're going to measure, it says, 2 cups of crushed berries. So there's 1. Let's see, there's a big berry sitting right there. That's okay. So there's 2 cups of crushed berries. Set that aside. And we've got our pre-measured sugar, and all that sugar. See how I don't know if you can see how chunky this still is. It's not super thin. So next it says to add the 4 cups of sugar to your strawberry puree. So we're gonna do that, and this has to set for 10 minutes once you get it all added. So I add it a little waterfall at a time. So you're gonna get your arm workout doing this, but you want it all to get dissolved, and it will. Now there are recipes for less sugar and whatnot. It's a totally different box of pectin. So if you don't want this much sugar in it, you can. And if you do use less sugar and use this kind of pectin, your jam will probably fail, which you don't want to do. All right, so I have my handy dandy timer here. Set it for 10 minutes, and I'm gonna sit and stir. I'm not gonna stir it for the whole 10 minutes, but I am gonna stir it probably every 2 to make sure all that sugar is getting absorbed by all the strawberry juice. So every couple minutes I take it and I stir it really good just to keep the sugar and those berries moving to help. You don't want to hear all the gritty stuff in there. You can hear the gritty sugar. It hasn't quite dissolved yet. When we add the hot pectin to it, that will also finish dissolving the sugar. You just want to kind of keep it moving. So every couple minutes, I just come back and give it a good stir. All right, so we've got a couple minutes left from the 10 that we're waiting for the sugar to dissolve, and it takes about that to get the pectin boiled. So let's head over to the stove and we'll get our pectin ready. All right, so I've just got a small saucepan here. I'm gonna turn the heat on. I've got 3/4 cup of water. Pour that in. And then you're just gonna add the pectin. It's kind of powdery like Jell-O. Just kind of, and you're gonna wanna whisk. I'm just gonna pour it in while stirring. Now we're gonna wait for this to come to a boil, and then we're gonna boil it solid, really like at a rolling boil for 1 minute. This really is an arm workout making jam, but say eating it in January or any time is delicious. The arm workout and stirring constantly is the hardest part. But is anything worth it without hard work? I don't know.
Oh man, it's philosophy channel now.
The payoff is great. Peanut butter and homemade strawberry jam, delicious.
Homemade wheat bread.
Homemade wheat bread. See the video up there with fresh strawberry jam?
Oh man.
You can't get any better than that. It's great on biscuits. It's great on pancakes. It's great on waffles. It's great on yogurt. Oh, I got 25 seconds left over here. So I'm going to shut this off because by the time we get done with the pectin, we're gonna pour it in here. All right, that looks really good. You can see on the sides it's starting to bubble just a tiny bit. We're getting there. As soon as it's a full roll that I can't stir down, then I'll start my 1 minute. You just don't want this to burn, that's why you have to keep stirring it. See, let's start our 1 minute. Ouch. Okay, it's killed the heat. I'm gonna keep this over here because I'm making multiple batches today. All right, so take that there, grab your hot pectin, and let's go back to the berries. All right, so get your timer out, set it for 3 minutes, press start and stir, and you're gonna gently pour the hot pectin in. And then we're gonna have to stir this for 3 minutes. So this is a lot of arm work, but man, it's so good, you guys. And just keep on stirring. Oh, if you could smell these fresh strawberries, I tell you. Hey, that's loud. All right, so we've got our pectin all stirred in. It says it makes 5 cups, so I'm gonna grab 5 of my little containers. I just kind of line them up. And one of the things that I like about this container is it has a spout on it so I can pour. So I just go, and you want to keep, we're going to fill them up to right about here. You want to keep about a 1/2 inch of headroom so that when it freezes and expands, there's a little room to do that. These make great gifts, by the way. Yum. You can see how thick it is now from the pectin. It's already starting to set up. Now, if you have more, which is usually the case, just grab another container. And if you want, you can just freeze the full ones and keep this one in the fridge and eat it right away. And yeah, I'm dripping, I make a mess everywhere, but that's all right.
Doesn't look like a murder scene.
No, right? So like on this one, I just want to show you, I dripped a little strawberry. Take a clean washcloth and get that off. So then now I just take my little lids, screw them on, And this has to set on your counter for 24 hours before you put it in the freezer. So I just make a little stack and they set on my freezer. So tomorrow at this time, I'll take a little piece of masking tape and put 22 on it for 2022. And then I'll know in the freezer what year I made them. And it says, let me grab some more lids. It says in the instructions that they only last for a year in the freezer, but I have to say, I'm eating stuff, I have stuff in there from like 2 years ago and it's totally fine. All right, so these are ready to go. I'll probably add a little tiny bit more from my next batch on this one, but here you go. You got from strawberries to strawberry jam in maybe what, 20-ish minutes? It's super easy. I hope that me walking you through it today took the fear level out of it, thinking that you can have the can-do attitude and make some jam. You can share it with your neighbors, or you can just stash it in your freezer and don't tell anybody and keep it all for yourself, which is fine. But I just want to say, hey, thanks for joining me today in my kitchen as I showed you how to make strawberry freezer jam. I hope you try it, enjoy it. It is so delightful. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, comment, and turn the bell on for notifications. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you on the next episode. I keep seeing this curl. Oh, that's just way too long.
Okay, that was
Okay.
awesome. Here we go.
There we go. My arm. I was thinking some groovy tunes on, like ABBA or something. Some jamming music. Got to jam out while you're making jam.
She went there. That's so great.
I won't be too corny. 20 seconds. My arm's not falling off yet, but we'll get there.
Gonna taste good, I know.